This weekend will be the first of a number of occasions this season in which two different tracks host races in a single weekend. The first race of this weekend, round 11 of the championship, will take place on the treacherous high banks of the Grand Detour of Western Illinois. And then 2 days from now, the Milwaukee Mile up in Wisconsin will play host to the second round of the weekend. For these split weekends, the normal twin race field distribution rules are still in effect. However, teams have been given the option to bring all of their cars to just one track if they so choose. I know quite a few teams have taken up that option. M&J Racing is bringing all 4 of their cars to Milwaukee, while Dollops Performance and Kurt Walker Motorsports have brought all of their cars here to Quincy. In other news, this will be the second of the 5 scheduled Tornado Alley Trophy weekends this season. Sarah Carlisle, Kelly Splicen, Andrew Hector, and 2-time series champion Kurt Walker are the Tornado Alley Trophy contestants starting today at Quincy. The rest are up in Milwaukee, and they will be competing in just a couple of days. Kurt Walker currently leads those standings by 3 points over Tanner Clayson. Let's see if he can keep it going. And now on to the race where Lucas Sweeney has taken the pole. Laura Cyrus on his outside. Cyrus, the pole winner for race 10 at Mexico last week. And the green flag is out. The field being given the start all the way in turn 3 as part of the new flying starts procedure. As soon as the pace car touches the apron, the green flag is given. Wow, Cyrus was really sleeping on the start. She's already fallen back several positions to about 8th or so as Zach got in the 7 Hounds. Lucas Sweeney coming into turn number 3, but Sweeney holds him off and will lead the first lap of the race. At the start, Kurt Walker washes up into one of the doppelgang cars. I think that's George Bryan in the 01, and Rip Tyler in the 16. The defending series champion is collected as well. These 3 cars lose several positions before they even take the green flag. And that was quite the odd mistake to see from a driver as successful as Kurt Walker has been. Here's Barton Sandy trying to hold off Kelly Splicen and protect the 4th position. The 92 Bjorn Green car has a sponsor this week. Delano is kicking a little bit of cash that team's way. It's not a huge sponsorship deal by any means, but that 92 team deserves every penny of it. Sandy's been very fast in that car despite not getting the kind of funding that the other teams have. Andrew Hector in the 04 car has already gone a lap down and has been bouncing off the walls all over the place. He's currently running in last, no surprises there, and he's just been a general nuisance all throughout the weekend. The motor event team is one of the Tornado Alley Trophy contestants. We obviously can't take them seriously in the hunt for that title from what we've seen of them so far, but fortunately I don't think they're running any other races during the season. Here is Brian George in one of the 2 doppelgang cars. That team is back for this season. The Tim Timothy-owned team with Brian George and George Bryan as his drivers are running select events in the Midwest as usual. It is a bit difficult to tell the doppelgang cars apart at first, but you do get used to them after a while, as Aaron Singer has now gone a lap down in the number 1 car for Wesley Family Racing. His teammate Richard Scott has been running much better than him, but much more quietly, so you do notice Singer more often. Zachary Zins drove all the way to a 5th place finish at Mexico last weekend, but he's blown his engine here on lap 9. And he's taken Jason Bates and Rip Tyler with him. Rip Tyler, after that incident with Kurt Walker at the start of the race, his day isn't going much better. And Zachary Zins is out with an engine failure. He started towards the back of the field in race 9 last weekend and drove all the way up to a 5th place finish, mostly by keeping the car clean all day, as Barton Sandy leads on the restart. Several cars pitted, however, Barton Sandy didn't, and he inherited the lead. I can't say enough about how fast Barton Sandy's been in this 92 car. He's been much faster than when he was with his family-owned team last year. He isn't running as many races this year as his teammate Ashley Tucker, who got that team's first win last week, but I wouldn't be too surprised to see Barton Sandy in the winner's circle as well. Sandy has definitely made that 92 car one to watch for these coming weeks. Several cars pit after the restart, Kelly Posadas, Namimura, and Nick Howard. I believe they might have ran over something under caution, as we got another caution. Speaking of those, Hazelme Fret in the 97 goes hard into that tire wall at the end of the pit wall there. It looks like Laura Cyrus might have come over into the 90 car and pinched everyone off there. Cyrus goes sliding back up the track into turn 3, collecting her teammate Kariki Itsuno in the 707. Benji Flynn, Richard Scott, the 27, collected as well. Now here's Kyle Gaffigan in the 07 for Team Thunder. I understand he took a wild ride. He hit one of the Doppelgang cars and then is sent for several barrel rolls after a collision with Joel Lennick in the 33 car. Gaffigan drives that car away, but the 07 is quite obviously done for the day, as Brian George in the 01 car is done as well. Lucas Sweeney takes the lead back for the restart. However, he's got several lapped cars to deal with, as well as Rip Tyler and Jason Bates, who are the last cars on the lead lap. Barry McIntyre, Kelly Posadas, Nick Howard, all starting on the inside line for lapped cars because they pitted shortly after that last restart. Again, we believe that they all might have run over something, as Joseph Howard, the 17, has a charge, but the caution is out once again. Andrew Hector slides up into the 44 of Kelly Splicen. Hector bouncing off of everything and their grandmother. Kelly Splicen is flipped over by Harry Enola down into turn number 1. Kelly Splicen takes a long slide on a roof back down onto the apron. Splicen, one of the Tornado Alley Trophy contestants, is done for the day. And we have a big pileup at the entrance to turn number 1 as Ryan Matthews, Barton Sandy, and Ashley Tucker are collected. I believe I saw Scott Dollitz in the 18 with some damage. Trey Ashby in the 12 as well. And here come the leaders racing back to the caution. They don't have much time to prepare for that stack up in turn 1. Several cars are around. Jesus Ignacio Chavez, the 3rd in the 35 car, had some heavy damage to the front end of that car. Scott Dollitz and Todd Stater, the 422, were sent for a spin as a result of that stack up. Chavez, the 35 for the Fernando's Chicken team, is done for the day, and Race Control is not taking any action about that. And that's quite surprising, considering the officials threatening to lay the hammer down on people who cause accidents under caution. I guess they decided in some ways it was unavoidable, because the leaders were focused on racing back to the yellow and didn't have much time to prepare for all those cars going so slow in turn 1, trying to get away from that big pileup. You saw Lucas Sweeney continuing to lead on the restart, with Joseph Howard in the 17 hounding him. Here is Andrea Kinasa running in 4th place. Alex Carson, the 2, trying to reel her in. Kinasa has been very fast in the 78 car, stepping in for her late husband, Scott Morales, who was with this team for about 3 years and got them a win at Daytona in 2010. Lucy Barnton is hounding Alex Carson for the 5th spot. Todd Stater, the 422, trying to reel them in, as the 2 and 84 in turn try to reel in the 78 of Kinasa. So this could be quite the battle we have on our hands, as Stater gets around the 2 car, following the 84 by him as well. Joseph Howard has to pit. The points leader is in the pits under green flag for an emergency stop. This is going to be a huge blow, as Howard has a tire that's gone down. Jason Bates in the 51 has a tire that's gone down as well. He was a lap down, and now he's going to lose even more laps. This will leave Lucas Sweeney with the opportunity to open up a big lead. Rachel Rainsford, the 71, is currently in 2nd place. Here's Benji Flynn in the 36, trying to make it 3 wide with Mura and George Bryan. For, I believe, 8th place, he makes contact with the 39. And he gets hooked by Mura. Ashley Tucker, the 90, gets collected as well, the winner of race 9 last week. Off to a terrible start today. It looks like Mura didn't take too kindly to Flynn chopping her off in turn 4, but that did a lot of damage to the 39's front end. As Lucy Barnton in the 84 has a problem coming to the restart. She tries to get into the pits, but ends up colliding with Jason Bates and coming to a stop on the track. The caution came out once again. Rachel Rainsford is now the leader as Lucas Sweeney came into the pits. Todd Stater, the 422, is back up into second place. That is Nick Howard, the 859, sitting back there in third. A very good start to the race for the 859 Duck Roll Development Team. In the meantime, Stater is trying to reel in the 71 of Rainsford. These are not the usual suspects that we see up front in these races. Brian George has to come into the pits with a tire that's gone down. He was running in 11th place before having to make this stop as Stater now goes for the lead. Stater from North Carolina has been with Green Racing and all of its incarnations for most of his career in this series, dating back to 2008. He's only got 2 wins to his name, but with the speed that he's shown so often, I do feel that he should have more. But the guy with all the speed right now is Lucas Sweeney, as he makes mincemeat of Rachel Rainsford and Todd Stater, and takes the lead back quite easily. The 8 car, which of course sat on the pole, is one of the fastest cars on the track right now. Stater's trying to come back at him, though. Sweeney was on his way to winning round 10, but then he got held up by a lapped car, and then threw it off the track several times, apparently in frustration, as he saw Aaron Singer going another lap down the 1 car is dangerously slow. Here's the battle for 6th between Ryan Matthews, Nick Howard, and Ritt Tyler. Howard has fallen back a little bit, so apparently that 859 car is really good on restarts. That or Howard is just saving his stuff. But either way, those 16 and 116 quickly dispatched the 859 car, and now they are setting to work on reeling in Barry McIntyre, that C4 car, running in 5th place. Matthews is having a great start to this race. He's running even better than he usually has been this year. Here's Barry McIntyre, the C4 car, the surprise winner of round 4 at Daytona. Matthews and Tyler try their best to dispatch him as quickly as they can. But here comes McIntyre battling back on the outside of Tyler as Tyler lost the momentum on the inside off at turn 4. But there they go. They blow past the C4. And now Nick Howard, the 859, trying to reel him in. Here's Todd Stater running a second, trying to negotiate with the 98 of Kurt Walker. He gets hooked into the wall, flies through the air, and an enormous impact with the catch fence on the outside of turn 1. A terrible crash at the outside of turn 1. Todd Stater with a huge hit into the catch fence with the roof of that 422 car. He got hooked by Joseph Howard after contact with the 98 of Walker. That was in no way Howard's doing, and we are very concerned about the condition of Todd Stater. Here is Joseph Howard. Stater gets into the back of the 98 and sweeps across the 17's bumper. The 17 goes over the wall as well. Howard tries to drive the car away, but the 17 is done for the day, and Todd Stater had to be airlifted to the hospital after being cut from his car. Now, here's the onboard from the 422. Stater definitely turned into the 98. Walker didn't sweep up into him or anything. Here is Kurt Walker limping back to the garage area. He is done as well, but once again, our concern lies with Todd Stater, and we certainly hope for the best. That was a very frightening accident. The race was restarted about 45 minutes later. We had a long red flag period to cut Todd Stater from the car and to repair that catch fence down in turn 1. Lucas Sweeney continues to lead. His teammate, Alex Carson, in second place, but Carson quickly falls back, and Sweeney builds up his lead right away. Sweeney's got 3 wins to his name in this series, although, interestingly enough, none of them on short tracks, even though he grew up racing in the Forest Modifieds, as Jessica Graham almost wipes out the 859 of Nick Howard after contact with the 1 of Aaron Singer. Last season, whenever Jessica Graham wasn't being a wrecking ball, she was blowing up all over the place, but this year, she is sitting in the top 10 in the point standings with 4 top 10s to her name. as Benji Flynn takes a wild ride. After being squeezed into the wall by Aaron Singer, Flynn was able to climb out of the car once they got it flipped over, but the race was red flagged again because there were some repairs that needed to be done to that guardrail, as Flynn got caught on the guardrail and did some damage to it. Sweeney continues to lead the race. Namimura in the 39, the first car, one lap down. She's got a lot of damage to the front end of that car. Her teammate Jason Bates right behind him, although he is several laps behind the 39. Ryan Griffin in the 86 running in 5th place until he gets squeezed into the wall by the lapped car of Kelly Posadas. Griffin rides the guardrail and comes to a stop propped up on his side. He would lose a lap as the track workers try to get him down. Mura, the 39, blows up after running in 19th. A lap down. It wasn't a great day for the 39 team or Kurt Walker Motorsports as a whole. Mura finished 4th in round 9 last week after leading quite a few laps during the race, but she threw the car off the track several times, and her pit crew lost a lot of ground trying to get it repaired. Sweeney continues to lead as Rip Tyler in the 16 now has moved up into 2nd, although here comes Alex Carson trying to take the position back. Andre Canassa in the 78 car follows suit and moves up into 3rd. Carson almost wipes out Sweeney, trying to battle him for the lead. Here's Zach Gott taking a wild ride off of turn 2 after getting squeezed into the wall by Sarah Carlisle. Although Carlisle wasn't left with too many options, the one of Singer was pushing up the track. And here's a look at it from on board the 92 of Barton Sandy as he gets a face full of Zach Gott. Not what you want to see out your windshield, but it was indeed Aaron Singer that pushed up the track and forced Carlisle up into the 7. And here is Lucas Sweeney, who still leads the race through this rash of late race cautions. Ryan Griffin, the 86, trying to get back onto the lead lap. Once again, he got stuck on the guardrail and lost a lap as the track workers tried to get him down. Alex Carson, Sweeney's teammate, still in 2nd place, although not able to challenge the 8 car at the moment. Carson does have quite a bit of damage, so that may be affecting him. Here is Zach Gott running 3 wide with Carlisle and Tucker. Carlisle pushes up into Gott and sends him into the wall and rolling down the track on the front stretch. And this time, Carlisle doesn't have any excuse. She just pushed up into him all on her own. Zach Gott is done for the day after getting that car airborne twice in a very short period of time. Less than 10 laps to go now. Lapped cars are no longer lining up on the inside. Sweeney still leads. Alex Carson, no threat for him on the restart. Both of these drivers have 3 wins to their names, but Sweeney is well on his way to number 4. But here comes Nick Howard, the 859, challenging Carson for 2nd place. Carson gives it up very easily as he gets held up behind the 86 of Ryan Griffin. And there goes Nick Howard, the 859 for Duck Roll Development. Carson is now back to 3rd. This 859 car is the team that Duck Roll Tires, the official tire supplier of ARLA, fields in order to conduct research and development. Nick Howard is doing a fantastic job for them today, running in 2nd place, and I do believe that he's reeling in the 8 car. Well, we thought Sweeney was the fastest car today, but that 859 is quickly growing in his mirror, and I do believe that you're going to be driving this car in a couple of races, Earl, so it looks like you're going to be in very good hands, as Howard, with just 2 laps to go, has now caught Sweeney. White flag. Howard makes the move to the inside in turn 2. It's going to be a drag race down the backstretch into turn number 3. Sweeney may have the preferred line. No, Howard dives in and chops him off. Nick Howard comes off the final corner and takes his first victory in the series with a last lap pass. And that is the only lap that Nick Howard has led today, and it was the lap that mattered the most. Lucas Sweeney has to settle for 2nd once again. He got the pole and led the most laps, but ultimately he couldn't close the deal. Alex Carson finishes 3rd, a good finish for him. Barry McIntyre, Ryan Matthews, Andre Canassa, 6th through 8th. Good finishing positions for the rookies. Only 10 cars finished on the lead lap and only 17 cars finished overall. Zach Gott was the first car out after being knocked around quite a bit in the closing laps. Kurt Walker loses a lot of ground in his Tornado Alley Trophy campaign. Todd Stater ended up in 25th after that horrific accident. We do hope for the best for Todd Stater. Kiriki Itsuno fell out and finished 32nd in the 707 car after Edwin Schwarzowski drove that car to the win in round 10 last week. And Zachary Zins, 40th and last place with an engine failure.